Newsweek and the Daily Beast wrote this incredible article about some of the mental impact that the internet has on all of us. And we are becoming more and more wired. If we're not in front of a computer, we immediately go to our smartphones. And we're constantly plugged. We know what's going on. We're constantly dependent on electronics. And as a result, it's impacting our brain in a very negative way. Because of this, we have become much more compulsive, and we are seeing more and more cases of ADHD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if that's why we're seeing more cases of ADHD, or if it has to do with the drug companies or a combination thereof. But I see the upside in this too. First of all, we make our living online, so pick up your smartphone. It's going to be all right. Okay, but in all seriousness, when I go shopping with my wife, now I can read like 28 articles for the show, and it saves me a tremendous amount of time that otherwise I'd be doing this, like, okay, yeah, honey, yeah, looks great. So it's got an upside too.
I get that, but at the same time, I feel like I've become more and more distracted by what's happening on my smartphone as opposed to enjoying and savoring every moment of my life. For instance, if I'm at a party or something, it's become habitual where I will pick up my phone and I'll read and I'll do whatever when I should be enjoying the party and I should be talking to my friends instead. And I think
well, if your friends were a little bit more interesting, maybe they can capture your attention instead of the emails that I sent you, which were very clever.
Please.
Okay,
let's go to the meat of the matter. First, let me tell you one of the studies that was done by UCLA. UCLA researchers did a study on some of their respondents to see what kind of impact the internet has on them. And what they did is they took the technology away from the respondents to see what kind of impact it had on them. And here's some of the stuff that these respondents said. Peter Whybrow, who worked on the study, said the computer is like electronic cocaine, fueling cycles of mania followed by depressive stretches.
Sounds great.
Nicholas Carr, the author of The Shallow, says the internet leads to behavior that people are conscious is not in their best interest and does leave them anxious and does make them act compulsively.
Sounds like my gambling habit.
Larry Rosen, a California psychologist, says it fosters our obsessions, dependence, and stress reactions.
Maybe this is all just the porn that people are watching on the internet. Because that sounds like what they do, with porn. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
One of the other respondents for a University of Maryland experiment says, I clearly am addicted and the dependency is sickening. Media is my drug.
Yeah, watch the Young Turks online.
Another respondent said, most college students are not just unwilling, but functionally unable to be without their media links to the world.
All right, now let me get serious for a second. I've seen it in my, honestly, my nephews, there they go under the bus again. Okay, and with all young people, they're constantly like, and then text, email, oh my God, did you see this Jon Stewart clip? Text. I'm like, I know, dude, I know, just concentrate for a second, right? Okay, just put it, like, I'm with you, it's cool, go do that in a second, but like, let's have a conversation first. Oh yeah, you're totally right. But then, did you see this? And text.
Right.
Right, so now look, texting is not necessarily being online, so I feel like they all have ADHD anyway. And
it's the texting is actually part of this problem. It's constantly being plugged into technology. It's not only the internet, but the internet is a large part of it as well.
Right. And so, yes, in some ways, I guess it's driving us crazy. But it also has enormous upsides.
It does have upsides.
The Young Turks.
I know. He's so super biased. And I'm biased too, but I'm trying to...
So what, me biased? No, I'm just saying, just watch a little bit more internet, then I think you're going to be okay. Where's the bias?
All right, so let's talk about the physical effects on the brain. So the brains of internet addicts look like the brains of drug and alcohol addicts. And
that's a literal picture? I see.
It basically increases the abnormal white matter in the brain and structural abnormalities in gray matter. Shrinkage of 10 to 20% in the area of the brain responsible for processing of speech, memory, motor control, emotion, sensory, and other information. So this is an actual physical impact that it has on your brain. And the more you use the internet, the more you see this impact on your brain. And it's problematic. And look, the internet is very new. And we're just studying the impact of it now. So who knows what society is going to be like 20 years from now?
20 years from now, we're all going to be like, what? I went online. That was some combination of like a person who's got a little mental issues and is from Tennessee. Is that wrong? That's wrong, right?
A little bit. Okay.